PG friendly. So,
I'll take it.
Tony, you and
Hello.
I both have different types of anxiety, I would say.
I would agree to that. I would
Yeah.
agree to that.
Yeah. But one thing I have noticed is that when I'm playing video games, my anxiety sort of drops off.
Mm,
And I wonder if that's partly because I'm immersing myself into something, or if it has to do with having clear goals and knowing what my challenge is and how to approach it. Or I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
You know, I feel like I use gaming as a stress relief in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I come
Mm-hmm.
home with like all of this stuff that's piled up from the week, and I really do find that just having control of something like this
Mm-hmm.
really gives me a sense of accomplishment and yeah, like stress relief.
Yeah.
But I think for you specifically, it's like a different type of anxiety that you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about. It's a feeling of
Yeah.
like maybe it has to do with control.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And I don't think we're the only ones. I mean,
No.
we actually saw this pop up in the World Wide Web recently.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It was there's a Reddit thread on I think it was on AMA. Yeah, it was on the AMA Reddit. There was a therapist who does research and writes academically about the intersection between video games and mental health. Not only how video games reduce, anxiety and stress and depression, yada yada, but also video game addiction, I think, is something he addresses as well. I guess he's a couples and family therapist,
Okay.
but he also has a Twitch stream that's called Game Sessions with a Therapist, and he streams nightly at 11:30 Central Time. So for us, that would be midnight, which is late. But on online spaces, he's Doctor, so just Dr_Mick Mick.
Okay.
I haven't watched any of his Twitch streams, but I'm very interested, and I wonder if he if he does what we do and puts them on YouTube. I would be fascinated to check that out. But if you're out there and you deal with anxiety, and I know a lot of us do, um, I think it would behoove you to sort of check in with him. He can't, ethically give you advice, or anything like that, but he can help you find resources where you are and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, check that out.
I think that's really cool, and I think it's cool
Yeah.
that people are beginning to research video games in a much more sort of in-depth psychological and sociological phenomena. I think that's great.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with like we're breaking down the stigma of mental health issues slowly but surely. We're getting there, and more people are aware of what anxiety is and like realizing that they have it. It took me until I was like in my early 30s to realize, oh shit, this is actually anxiety that I'm dealing with, not like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I thought was going on in my brain, but I was like, no, this is definitely anxiety. And I think once you realize what's happening, it's a lot easier to address it.
Yeah.
Once you say,
Yeah.
yes, I have this mental health problem, I can actually get help for it. I feel like if people are willing to accept that this is an actual like health problem rather than just like all in people's heads, quote unquote, which you hear a lot. Things like this Dr. Mick guy, and like, it'll become a lot more accessible, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see this kind of research being done.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. I love it. What else you
So
got?
listen, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. We
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this. You may not be able to notice. And I want to make sure that as many people can view the show as possible. It looks like currently we are locked down to just subscribers. I don't know if
Oh.
there's anything on your end that we can unlock that. I am gonna pop over to my computer to see if I can do anything on my end. I'm gonna put you on mute for just a moment or two while we figure this out. That works?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Be back in a moment. Everyone, hold on. Technical difficulty music. Do 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 do.
Hmm. Well, I'm not sure what's going on your end, but I can see us. Are you there, Tony?
Okay, I'm back, and I feel like we're back.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, like when you went away, I logged out of Twitch on my computer and brought up our stream and it was fine. So, I don't know
Huh.
what you were seeing.
Well, it was we were locked down. It was actually giving me a message in two places that was only available to subscribers. But then I tooled around with a thing or two, and then by the time I came back, it looked like we were on. So maybe I did something, maybe you did something, or maybe the world fixed itself.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. That's so weird.
Either way, welcome back.
Hi, we're here now. And so, yeah, so let's do this thing.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more. Wait. Hold on. This just in: breaking news. I'm being told that two individuals are now streaming live and are ready to begin the episode. This is Tony, aka Paradox, and I'm always joined by my co-host.
Hello, I am Lauren, and I'm also known as Caustic Sofa. And we're the futuristic sporty gamers, and tonight we're trying to get one trophy in Laser League. Welcome to our live Twitch viewers and to everyone else watching later on YouTube to Two Gamers, One Trophy.
We are playing Laser League. It's the secondary offering from October's 2018 PS Plus free downloads for the PS4. Continuing our spooky October theme, what could be more spooky than a futuristic sports game trying to capitalize on the success of Sony's previous breakaway success, Rocket League?
So this will be the first time I'm actually hands-on with this game. So I'll give you my first live impression of Laser League and what you can expect from the gameplay. Will the title be worth downloading? Stay tuned to find out. Meanwhile, Tony will be here with all the factoids and trivia, as well as being a resource to help me reach this episode's trophy challenge.
We here at Two Gamers One Trophy don't just review all of the free PS Plus titles each month. We like to add a little extra trophy challenge to our gameplay. Tonight we'll be doing a challenge we like to call a one and done trophy, which means I'm challenging Lauren to go after any one trophy in the game. Once we get the trophy, we have to be careful not to get an additional trophy before closing down the episode.
We invite all of our live viewers to join in our Twitch chat. Let us know if you're playing along or tell us your impressions of the game. And for those of you joining us later on YouTube, give us some internet cred, like, subscribe, and comment. No more delay. We start gameplay now.
Push a button. Push a button.
Push any button.
That's right. So we're at the menu.
Yeah.
Do you have any relationship whatsoever with Laser League?
No, I don't know anything about anything.
Must be. How do you get through day to day?
You know, my life is real hard.
Air. Any familiarity with Ollie Ollie?
Ollie Ollie. No, is that a skateboarding
It was a previous.
game?
Yeah, it was a previous PS Plus title.
Okay.
Before we started the show.
Sure.
The developer is the same developer as Ollie Ollie and Ollie Ollie 2. Welcome to Ollywood. Roll 7 is a small development team, but this is their thing. They do kind of sports-ish titles, and a smaller, more indie scale. So we're looking here, and it's hard to explain this because this game is clearly designed to be an esports title. And
Okay.
we talked a little bit about esports before, and Rocket League managed to be a game that capitalized the esports market because
Sure.
it's a simple concept of a game. We already, as a culture, know what soccer is, and we know what driving cars is. So even though the combination of the two was really unique
Right,
and
right.
made a very cool gameplay, it was very easy not only to play it in a competitive sense, but it was easy to watch it and understand it.
Sure.
Overwatch had a bigger barrier to overcome. You, of course, are a huge Overwatch fan.
Yes.
But I think you will agree that if you have no familiarity with all the details of which character does what and,
Right.
and what the goal of each thing is, as a noob coming into it, is much more difficult to go, what's going on here?
Yes.
What's the rules? Who's going to accomplish what? So
Yes.
it is a smaller
Sometimes-
base.
Sometimes my boyfriend watches me play, and he's like, "I don't know what's happening right now. Who are you? What are you doing? Who are those other people?"
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get it.
Yeah, exactly. The barrier entry is much higher here. In this game, you're going to find out very quickly that it's incredibly simplistic to play.
Okay.
And though it looks chaotic, it's not so difficult to understand what's going on. We're avoiding lasers. Lasers
Okay.
bad, people giving lasers bad. I mean,
Okay.
it's simple in that sense. I think the
That makes
best thing for us to do is to try and go through some of the menus to understand what's happening before we jump into an online game. We will be
Yeah.
doing this online. Most of the PS Plus titles lately we've been doing on the show have been online-based games. So we've been very lucky to have an internet connection that has held up to both streaming and playing
Yes,
against.
I'm so glad my
Windows.
internet got fixed.
That's a dark time.
I know that was real rough. Okay, so I was looking at this playbook here, and it was telling me about the different classes and power-ups and stuff. So that was
Yeah.
sort of helpful for a little bit. So yeah,
I would consider doing the tutorial.
Okay.
Just to get us started and to,
yeah,
just to get us started.
yeah, because I need to know how to play, and I appreciate a good
Yeah.
tutorial. Introduction.
So I do want to tell you a little bit about the publisher of the team. It is 505 Games. Normally I give one or two titles of a publisher and developer to give us a sense of, who is the creative team behind it. But 505 Games, they do everything. If it is a smaller game in the variety of a sports game or a Cooking Mama game
Mm.
or some sort of licensed title. They're
Mm-hmm.
behind it. They've just pumped out title after title for decades. So, 505 Games is they're the Walmart of publishers. Not to say that that's a negative thing. I'm not intending a negative connotation, just that they're very
Right.
prolific.
Right.
This game was released on May 10th, 2018, which makes it one of the quickest turnarounds to PS Plus. It's interesting because, of course, the most obvious comparison here is to Rocket League. Not just in the name, but there's an idea of this has been designed for esports, like Rocket League was. And when this game was released, there was a lot of commotion about why it was not released for PS Plus at the same time that it became, just released to the public. The thought process behind this was that, this requires a consistent and constant online presence by a large community. And without, a huge install base like PS Plus owners, it's sort of like, well, you're really leaving this up to chance, and you're an indie game, so you better be damn good.
Right.
Of course, we're going to see how damn good it is.
Well, I can tell you already that I like the aesthetic of it. So
It's
there's
very
that
Tron.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It is very visually nice. It's minimalistic, and it needs to be because it gets chaotic, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Another little thing that I'm adding now to our shows, the ESRB rating for this game is everyone 10 plus. So this
Okay.
is generally child friendly. There is simulated death in the game, but it's certainly not anything of the gore blood variety. So this is pretty safe for most players.
Whoops, I just ran into my own laser. So you can warp to the other side of the field when you get to the edge, it seems like.
A very Pac-Man influence.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's nice because it also adds kind of like an arcade feel to it as well,
Yeah. Sort of like that.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm
Okay.
continue.
I will. I was gonna say that because of the nature of what we're doing here with the one and done trophy, there is a certain amount of randomness to whether you can get a trophy within the typical 2 hour time slot that we do here. So this could go fast, this could go long. We'll
Okay.
see. I do want to throw out the information as sort of a big, long, rambling rant, just so that that's out of the way, so that we can focus on the gameplay. I know that can be a bit, tedious, but
Mm-hmm.
there's some interesting information I want to get out there.
Okay. Yeah, let's have it.
The PlayStation description for this game, which you see when you go to the PlayStation Store or the PlayStation blog, they say, vaporize the opposition in the light speed future of sport. An all-new multiplayer experience, easy to pick up but near impossible to put down. Laser League starts as a simple test of your reflexes, but soon becomes a strategic showdown with deep team tactics. Combine your class abilities, dominate the pitch, eliminate your opponents, and claim your place on the podium. Beat mastery challenges and level up to unlock hundreds of kits and customizations, rise up the leaderboards, and become a sports legend of the year 2150. Laser League, like nothing you've played before. I read a lot of these for the shows,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're hokey, sometimes they're just, very technical to the point it's like, okay, this one is the most elevator pitch type that I've ever read. It's like, even with the slogan at the end, it definitely feels like, okay, we have this game. I mean, I get that you're also trying to sell it with the
Right.
description, but it definitely felt like, imagine this, the future, the year is 2150. Lasers dominate sports. There is a DLC and an add-on called Laser League New Motion, all one word. I tried to look up whether New Motion was a real-life company or real-life product of some kind.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, it seems to be an energy company for Tesla, like for powering cars.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what they're doing here.
Yeah.
But here's the description for the DLC. for $199 if you're interested. A new team enters the arena, stands out on the pitch in the performance streetwear of New Motion. This add-on pack includes 2 new player models and 8 kits, as well as exclusive laser patterns and character portraits. Don't be tethered by tech. Put the soul back into your sport with New Motion.
Okay.
It really, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so amused by the description, but it's just very post-apocalyptic dystopian commercial.
Right. Yeah.
So, other trivia: the game was released in early access in mid-2017. There are 6 different classes that you can play as. Each class has 2 modifiers, and the game essentially has 2 buttons that you even use: the left joystick and the R1 button, which you should have probably learned by this point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've played games with incredibly simplistic control schemes before for the show. The one that's popping into my head is King Oddball. Do you remember that game?
Yep.
King Oddball.
That game was so much fun.
It was. It really was. It was a previous PS Plus title, and it was a game in which you played a floating boulder king who could, with his tongue, fling boulders to knock down obstacles, obstructions, and you had to knock down everything in order to pass a level. And I think it was just X. It was the only button you could push to do anything.
Yeah,
right?
it was like control. It was like move your dude and press X. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure you could even move your dude because he just kind of wagged his tongue back and forth and you pushed X at the appropriate time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you couldn't. Yep, you were right. The control, like the swinging back and forth, was all the computer.
So this game is 2 times as complicated as Oddball.
Because there's... If you guys have King Oddball from previous PS Plus months, please play it because it is so much fun.
It is super fun. It's one of those games that's like, okay, this is adorable.
Yeah, it was
I also
cute.
get the impression...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was cute.
Yeah. I know that because when I touched this game for the first time, I found myself having a hard time concentrating on anything else. Sometimes I'll pause the game, I'll do some notes, it's part of my research. But here, I definitely found myself very engrossed in what was happening, not because it was super interesting, but because I felt like, okay, there's a lot of things happening, and I had to be laser focused.
Yes.
No pun intended.
No, pun intended. Definitely intended that pun.
So, interrupt me, as you would like to. As always, please, you are the co-host with the most, but I understand if you feel you get quiet, because I felt I was getting very quiet with my gameplay.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to, like, I forget that I can run through my lasers because I am the same color as they are.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, trying to avoid my lasers, but I'm like, wait, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, I even see that. I see you going, like, you're following the rotating pattern.
Yeah.
It's cool. And it's like a combination of Tron and air hockey. If I had to. I don't know. It's this is one of those games, and I think that you and I do better with the indie titles than we do some of the older big releases.
Oh my god!
Really good too.
I just got a trophy.
Oh, you're kidding! Is it tutorial?
It must be. It was called Coach Palmer's Pride.
Okay, we're still good because you have to not get another trophy. So we're okay. We're okay. We can keep playing.
That's
I
so
did
funny.
not anticipate this. Okay, let's look that up real quickly. Oh dear. Can you imagine if we stopped at 24 minutes? That would be the shortest episode ever. Let's pull this up. For those who have not seen a previous episode, we do a one and done. Typically, I reserve the one and done trophy challenge for a game in which there is no clear path in which Lauren would take, and so it's hard to time at what point she would get the trophy.
Right.
Or if the trophy is incredibly difficult, all of them, and it's just unlikely that she would get one, then we just throw it as a one and done. Most trophies here are rare. The most common trophy in this game is 50.17%, which puts it as a common trophy. And unfortunately, that's the one you just received. Coach Palmer's Pride, complete the tutorial. The next most common trophy is for winning an online match, which I found to be difficult. It took me a while to get a handle of things to be able to win. So
Okay.
we're in a bit of a bind here. At 25 minutes, you now cannot collect another trophy. I don't want you to necessarily, lose on purpose when you do online
Right.
play, but we'll see how it goes down.
I mean, we can just avoid the online play and just play with the bots for a little bit. Whoops.
That's true. That's true. So I do want to say congratulations on officially meeting the challenge for
Thank
the
you.
show.
Shit.
Close it down. We're done. The director of the game is John Ribbons and Simon Benet. The producer is Tom Haggerty, programmer Richard Ogden, artist Paul Edwards, and composer Alan Meissen and Atal Tech. None of them have done anything of any consequence, as far as my research indicated. I apologize. I'm sure you're all wonderful people, and you produced a lovely game, but doing nothing that's going to help inform what the game is just by your names alone.
I don't even
Since
know.
you have received a trophy, let's talk just a tiny bit about the trophy list
Yeah.
in totality. There is a platinum for this game, which is kind of a crapshoot with these smaller games, whether they decide to throw a platinum on there. And we've talked about it before. There's no rule, that you don't have to be a certain length or anything. We've seen some incredibly simplistic games get a platinum. So it's nice that they either fought for it or they felt that their game deserved one, so that's great. The platinum is an ultra rare trophy, and what that means is PSNprofiles.com aggregates trophy hunter statistics to produce a scale of how difficult or how common a trophy is, and typically with numbers under 1% or under 0.5%, we're getting it ultra rare, which means it's incredibly difficult to get it, or the trophy is glitched in some way, or the grind is so tedious that it's essentially impossible to get just because of how long it would take to do so.
Right.
This game has only been out for a couple of months, so
Oh.
it's hard to say how accurate this is, but we will talk about the grind in a bit. Unfortunately, it just seems unlikely that anyone would have been able to get the trophy at this point because of how long the grind is. 7 gold, 12 silver, 4 bronze, a total of 24 trophies at 1,230 points. That is a bit small because they seem to have front-loaded all their trophies as gold and silvers as opposed to bronze. It's kind of the opposite of what our last episode was like. In that game, it was like all bronze. So
Yeah, the
I don't
game
know,
had
people
so
can't
many
see it.
bronze medals, trophies, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Trophies.
Yeah.
They're trophies.
You literally want to call them trophies. That's what they're
It's also
actually
the name
called. So
of
like,
our show. So
whoops.
we're not 2 gamers, 1 medal.
No.
Yeah, so that's all the bleh.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, are you enjoying yourself? We're 30 minutes in, you've played the tutorial, you should have a general grasp of how to play, and
Yeah, I have a pretty good understanding of how the game is played. Apparently, I'm not very good at this type of game where you have to like pay attention to what other people are doing and like,
yeah.
I guess. No.
So it isn't, there are 3 rounds. Each
Mm-hmm.
round doesn't count as a win or a loss as far as trophy goes.
Right.
So, you can lose 2 and then win 2 and go to overtime and you can
Mm-hmm.
still come out on top. It's nice because if you kind of just mess something up, it doesn't completely kill you here.
Right. It's like a best of 3 scenario.
There was also a game called Sports Friends. Are you familiar with that one?
Sport, is that the one where you? Yes, you made me play this with you, I think,
It probably did.
to get a trophy.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like me, actually. PS Plus title, a collection of mini games in which you could do different things. There was one in which it was kind of one of those like ASQD physics with a body type games where you slowly controlled a person and they had to like play tug of war against another person, but
Right.
visually it was very similar to this. I mean, it had a very kind of red and green neon with a blue background, so it's hard for me not to visually associate the two.
Oh, interesting. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I feel like I played that with you, but I just don't remember.
Again, there were different minute games, so it's possible you never saw that mode.
Maybe.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I have not grown out of. You know, I have forced you to help me get random trophies. Here, Lauren, hold this
Mhm.
controller and push X repeatedly, and I'll get
Right,
this
yeah,
thing.
like you don't need me to actually do anything, but like,
Just keep up. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, and I've struggled um, philosophically with if that is you know, kind of cheating the trophy system, if you know it's really not taking into account what the developer's anticipation was, if you know they really wanted you to play genuinely with the person, but you know, I have a life and I don't have time to do everything exactly the way
Right.
it was. I don't cheat. I don't do any, you know, programming or unlocking or rooting of my
Right,
PlayStation.
right,
I don't
right.
change the time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do anything like that. It's all as long as the game allows for it to happen naturally, even if it isn't the full intention of developers. That's how I do
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
I do want to. Normally, would have broken into this in the pre-open cold open of our show, but we were talking about the anxiety topic, which was fantastic. But I
Yeah.
did want to bring up that I have been lately on a platinum kick. We talked a little bit last time that I got the
Sure.
platinum in Spider-Man. Yay me, I'm amazing. I know. Calm down. This time, I managed to get the platinum trophy in the old PS3 title, PlayStation All Stars.
Okay.
We had talked about they were shutting down the servers for PlayStation All Stars. The last time that we gave this news segment, they were shutting down October 25th.
Yes.
Unfortunately, unbeknownst to me and to a lot of people, they moved that date up a week later to October 15th. And I
Ooh.
finally got a replacement PS3 controller that I had been waiting on getting because this one had got destroyed in a move, whatever, and went to play October 16th, and they had shut down the servers. And I had one online trophy left to get, and it was
That's
infuriating.
yeah, I would be so mad.
You know, and I had to do that thing where you like come to peace with loss. You know, like it
Right.
was like I have accepted it's just not a thing that I'm going to be able to get. It's just done. And I'm part of some trophy hunter communities,
Mhm.
and I had put out there that you know I wanted to get online and boost with anyone. If anyone needed help, I would join them
Yeah.
in the gameplay. And someone reached out to me to say, "Listen, the servers are down in every mode except for this one. And if you go into this one, you can back end back into the other thing to get the trophy, and I'll
Oh,
walk you through it."
jeez.
And it was amazing. Like it was like a team of superheroes that came together to get me this last trophy right under the wire. I mean,
That's
it was
great.
close.
That's so great.
So, yeah, that did happen. And it's a stupid story that I wanted to share with the world. There are good people out there. Have fun, play with each other. The PlayStation is great.
We love gaming with other people. I love when people interact with us on here, so feel free to chat with us if you're watching.
Yeah, you know, we do interact with people. And, you know, here's the thing. Lauren and I are realistic about what we're doing here. You know, we stream, as of today's recording, to a small audience.
Yes.
And partly that's because, you know, there are so many things to watch.
Oh
There's
my
so many
God,
things
there's
to play.
so many things. There's just all the
You know,
things.
if I went on right now Twitch and I typed in, I don't know, Fortnite, you kidding? There's, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks of content right now, streaming
Yeah.
right now, you know? So
Yeah.
it's a very specialized
Ah.
market. And what we do here is we do a little bit of review of the PS Plus games, and we don't even do it immediately. It's within the month, so you know, if
Usually,
this
yeah.
helps, if this helps anybody, if it's entertaining, we're pleased. So you know, if you happen to pop by, make a comment, we'll talk with you, we'll play with you.
Quit.
Quit.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to play online.
Let's do it.
Should I do doubles or standard? Standard, I think,
I
will
think,
get me, I think, too confused. I'll try it.
yeah. Well, it's okay if you go for the hard stuff. You've already done the accomplishment, so you should go. You should go for the
I
challenge.
know. Okay.
And do feel free to play around with your modifiers. You do have several options. There's a good amount of customization with just, very little. It doesn't take much to make a very large amount of customization.
Yeah, apparently my match started while I was trying to change some things. So that's weird. They shouldn't like, I don't know.
Yeah, they should have you say you're ready.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. They did apparently. I was just trying to change what my person looked like, but it's cool. It's cool.
But let's talk about that because this game has a bit of a problem, and we experienced this before in other games we've played, in which the servers, when the game came online, and to this day, are dead. There are not a lot of people playing this game. Even with
Oh,
the PS Plus boost, it
right.
just does not have the online presence that this game really needs to succeed. Not just in the financial sense, but just for the gameplay to be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
You will notice that you will get assigned AI opponents often in this game.
Hmm.
Um, and we previously had played a game, I forget which one it was, where we were assigned AI bots and we thought they were real people, and we were just amazed at their names because the names were so spot on for the game,
Right,
and
right.
we were dummies and we didn't realize that there was AI. Anywho, you're probably playing with AIs right now. Hard to tell. Point is that they have a cool concept and it just didn't catch on for whatever reason.
Yeah, and you know what? That's too bad because this game is actually it's not bad. Like it's kind of fun. It's colorful. It's not
Hmm.
difficult.
Hmm.
There's a little bit of customization and like leveling up or whatever, I guess, and like
Hmm. Hmm.
it just seems like more people should play this. I would play this
This and
online with friends. I would.
That's a pretty good incentive. I think their base is gonna double now. This is the type of game, and we've talked about this, that when we download these games, we have this whole segment in the show that we dedicate to, is this worth downloading? And part of that is a personal consideration of, I have to go to work 9 to 5 every day. I have to commute back home. I have to have dinner. I have to clean. I have to,
Yeah.
I have familial responsibilities.
Right.
If I get lucky, I have a couple of hours a week to really give myself to a game. Maybe an hour a night. Maybe.
Mm.
It's not like I can just sit down and just go 6 7 hours like when I was younger. So a game not only has to engage me, but it has to be something that I can jump in and out of without the feeling of I'm lost and I'm retracking. So these short, bite-sized experiences like this
Yeah.
tend to be perfect fodder for this. When I can come in, do a round or two, get out, not feel like, I'm lost, it's the perfect type of game for this.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how good. I know you regularly jump into Overwatch because you
Mhm.
jump in, you do a match, you
Mhm.
get out. You haven't. It's very easy to get into it and feel like you're still progressing because you don't have to kind of keep track of that. So,
Right.
I do recommend these games. I recommend these games for PS Plus. If you're listening, Sony execs, these are the type of games that I really think do well for this market. And I know you're listening to me. I know you are. You're looking at the numbers and you're going, "Well, no, that's not true. No one's downloading this." But don't give up on these titles. This
Yes.
one didn't. But
Yes.
don't give up. These are the ones that we really like.
And I love, I do so much better with the indie games on this, like trying to get the trophies and like, you know,
Yeah.
get the episode done or whatever have you. And like, I don't know why that is, why it seems like this, but I don't know. Just give me more indie titles. That's all I want.
I'll I'll give you some theory. I
Okay.
think that an indie game is more brave and unique in what they're doing. They're doing something that you haven't necessarily seen before, and because of that, they have to be smarter in how they present it to you. With a huge title, like a fourth game in a series of God of War 3 is coming to mind because you did that one recently.
Hmm.
They're assuming so much back knowledge of how to play an FPS, how to play an action game, what these characters are, how to solve
Right.
puzzles. They're making you jump into something with a skill set that you should have already developed. And here, I think that they not that they hold your hand, but that they make the effort to make it clear what's going on and much more slowly build up into a more complex, sort of what's the word for it when meta play, when you really get into the grind of, okay, but if I did this combination, then I can move slightly faster. There's the ability to enjoy this on multiple levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think of well, I know I always talk about Fallout, but some of the complaints about the later Fallouts is that they're appealing to a much more mass audience. It's no longer a specialized game. It's trying to appeal to everyone, and this sort of common denominator thing, it tends to dumb down a game, and it tends to make it so generic that it doesn't feel like a unique experience. And that's another thing indie titles have in their advantage, is because they can do their own thing, their own vision, and really just not worry about, do we have to appeal to everyone.
That's true. That's very true. I'm actually doing better at this.
Yeah, you're actually doing really good. So we're also locked into this like isometric aerial view. If there's any complaint that I had about this, I would say is that I wish it was more dynamic. I wish you could really get in the camera, like in the pitch, and see things.
Well, they do occasionally. The
play.
only time I've seen the angles change, is when there's a replay, when they like play how the last person died or whatever,
Right.
which is fun. It's fun to look at. But yeah, you're right. It'd be neat if that happened slightly more often.
And there are ways you could pull that off. You could pull it off with maybe a 1/4 kind of picture-in-picture thing, and show the action somewhere, or show it. I don't know. If it's supposed to be a physical space, then show it on like a Megatron. And obviously that would have taken a lot of time and programming. That it's just visual. It doesn't add anything. So I understand why it's not there. But it does feel like that is the most obvious sort of, if this game got a lot of money, that would be the next obvious thing to add to this.
Sure. Yeah.
There is customization.
Yes, you can change the look of your guy, you can change what your skill is, what your like weapon or whatever does.
Right. Are you feeling a difference from when you chose one loadout versus another?
To be honest, I like tend to forget that the ability exists. So I just don't really pay attention, I guess.
Yeah. But you're still able to play without paying attention. And that again speaks to the whole thing of like, you get as involved in the metagame as you want to. You can still enjoy it in a basic level.
Oh shit. I was too busy trying to figure out where the third dude was to revive him that I didn't pay attention that all the lasers were red.
It's fun to watch. This game is optimized for esports. I understand what's happening immediately.
Yes.
That's great. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of sad that it's not going to go anywhere. And I feel bad making that kind of a strong prediction, but it would have by now,
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. You look at games like PUBG, which was around forever, and then they, got that Battle Royale mode, and it became the biggest game in the world until Fortnite took it over. So, it does happen, but it doesn't feel like there's enough depth here to really bring.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many ways you can play, so many loadout options, so many like. It's not like it's like super fascinating. I'm sure after a while you're just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit more about Oddball. Do you remember? I mean, did you ever get the urge later to go back and play that? Even talking about it now, I feel like, oh, that was fun. What a nostalgic thing. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
load it back up.
I no, I wouldn't go back. I mean, it was cute for what it was, and like I did enjoy it, but not really enough to like warrant finishing it. If there was
Right.
like a way to finish, I don't know. There were just like
Yeah.
a lot of puzzles.
Yeah, and this is another game, of course, that it has no single player mode. We're not solving any puzzles here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just solely multiplayer, which, by the way, is I think the third or fourth game in a row that we've played that has been just multiplayer component. That's not true. God of War 3 was pretty recent, but still,
Right.
it's been a lot in a short period of time.
Yes.
And it's interesting that Sony seems to be focused on giving us that PS Plus experience more than anything else. And it speaks to a larger thing that has been going on in the video game community of the question, is the single player experience dying? Is that no longer the most obvious financial profitable way to go? And is it more about games for service? Is it more about multiplayer gaming? I don't know if you have an opinion about this or if this is something you've noticed before I'm bringing it up here.
Okay. So I have noticed this a lot. There's a lot of online gameplay happening in all the games that we've played recently. And
Yeah.
oh no, now we have to stop.
You got two
I got
trophies.
another trophy.
You've broken
I
everything.
broke the rules. um,
What's the name of the one you got?
the first
Is it for
step.
winning?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
for
for
winning.
winning. Oh my goodness.
I should have lost.
This,
I'm sorry.
no, let me say this. This is my fault. I did not anticipate this going so well for you. And this is me not having faith in you, and I apologize. That's on me. I say keep going. Keep going. We just end it when we want to. But
Okay,
know
all
that we've
right.
broken the rules, everyone. The nothing is fair. We've rigged the election. It just is what it is. At 42.98%, this is an uncommon trophy bronze, which you got for winning your first match in online play. Congratulations on breaking the internet. So, you were saying about what you were thinking about with online games sort of dominating at least the PS Plus space. You still there? We may have lost Lauren, at least with the audio, or possibly you've lost me in the audio. It's hard to tell. Um, Let's do an experiment.
Oh,
Maybe
did
we'll.
I think I turned my thing off by accident.
Oh, you did. Hello, welcome back.
I don't know how that happened. The button wasn't even anywhere near me. Um,
No, I think the powers that be got the alert. They said, "Oh no, they've gotten two trophies. Shut them down."
okay, so as I was saying,
Yes.
um, with PS Plus, I can understand a lot of the free games having an online component because most people pay for PS Plus in order to
Right.
play online.
Right.
And the
That makes
free
sense.
games are just sort of like a bonus.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool because, $60 a year and you get all these games, Whoops,
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was. Um, that's kind of cool to me, and the fact that like, oh shit, I just keep dying. Um, but as far as multiplayer games being like the only games that are available or whatever, like I don't know about that because I don't really play a lot of games. I'm not really a big gamer. And we know this because every time we play a game where you're like, this game is like the biggest release of like whatever year, and I'm like, nah, don't know it.
Never heard of it.
Who are you? Um,
Call of Duty, you said? Don't know it.
and so like, I can't really speak to that. I do know that like, oh shit. Um, I'm a big fan of uh what are these games? Mass Effect and what's this other thing? Uh
Dragon Age?
yeah, that, but like The one where you're an Assassin's Creed.
the one, the one where you signed this creed to be an assassin. What could that be?
Oh my God. And those, you know, are great.
Yeah.
And they're mostly single player. I don't know if they've added online components to those games. It's entirely possible that they have because I haven't played the newest versions of those, the newest releases. Um,
A lot of times they do. I know that Assassin's Creed has definitely had online
oh shit.
modes. Um, and I think about like Bioshock had online mode,
Yeah.
and and it's like one of these things where you have this development team that's split between the single player experience and the multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
And we made a passing reference to Call of Duty there, but there was a big um, complaint about the single player campaign for that being thrown away the last cycle just for the multiplayer experience. And there were plenty of people who went into it for the campaign. And it's
Right.
this sense of like, well, it really stinks that they're throwing that away for that portion of the audience because it's just not where the money is being made.
Mhm. Yeah.
Again, huge Fallout fan. Fallout 76 is coming. A lot of concern about Fallout 76 being a multiplayer-only experience. No single-player campaign, no dialogue, no overt story. Like, that is incredibly risky, and you could alienate what is otherwise a very intense community of
Yeah.
people that love the story of Fallout. So,
Yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, you play this franchise for however long and you're used to a certain style of game play. And, that's not to say people can't innovate, but when your innovation is pretty much making a brand new game that just has the skin of Fallout, like, you know, are people going to be okay with that?
yeah, I agree. On the other hand, you look at Mario, you look at Zelda. These games made all the monies, and they're single player games. Look at God of War,
Yeah.
the remake, the recent.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and I think we always talk about how Nintendo has the leg up on couch co-op. Like
yeah,
Nintendo knows where that's like there, but they also have a lot of good single player games. Um,
yeah,
all the Zelda games, like, but I don't know. Well,
including their
and
new one. There wasn't a multiplayer mode added, and Nintendo's not been good at multiplayer online play generally.
right,
They've had the occasional breakaway success to give us Splatoon, but that's not their thing.
no. And one of my favorite Nintendo games, Crossing, and
Yeah,
that game is so like it has in their more recent ones, there's an online component where you can go to other people's cities or campsites or whatever version of the game you're playing, but
yeah.
it's not like the main thing. There's just it's just like an
And
addition.
Nintendo made it very difficult. I mean, you think about the friend code thing, where
Yeah,
like it wasn't like your name was, oh, come join me, I'm at Lauren. It's
right.
oh, come join me,
I
I'm
have
one
this
four four seven
16-digit
four two
long
four
number, and yeah,
H exclamation point four
yeah,
three. Like what the fuck? That's not. Come on, Nintendo.
yeah, yeah. It's almost like they want it to be difficult for you to have friends
Yeah.
that you don't play with in your own living room. I don't know.
And I think that the philosophy behind
Oop.
that was Nintendo wanted you to play with your friends,
Yeah,
not make friends through the play.
yeah, yeah. Because I don't. Uh, mm. And like I don't have a problem with that, but like you know, yeah. What if you just don't have friends?
You're out of luck. Yeah, then it's
Yeah,
just
you
single player
can't play
experience.
Super Smash Brothers. Like there's no, you know,
You'll never get all those Pokemon.
you'll not like. But I do think there is something to be said for. I mean, look at Ratchet and Clank. I love those games. Single player, like there's just something so great about that. And
Yeah.
if that kind of gaming goes away, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I hate playing online games. Like I do not like it.
And maybe this is a problem with a generational thing. We're old. We're very old. We're almost there.
Yeah,
We're so old.
we're so
Um,
old.
I think I still have this weird sense of anxiety. We were talking about this earlier, but about joining in with an online game where I feel this like I feel the need that I need to be at a certain level, otherwise, I don't deserve to be playing with other
Right.
people. I feel like I'm, can be wasting the space online. Um, there's a whole gambit of things that I feel, and it's like I don't want to get that pressure joining a
Yeah.
game. I don't
Which
want
is
to be harassed by people, and that's I'm a white guy. Like that,
yeah.
you're the one that I'm sure feels that much more than I'm ever going to
Yeah,
feel
and
that. So
yeah, I don't talk when I play online. I really don't.
yeah,
Oops. Um, but yeah, I kind of feel that way too, and that's why when I go play Overwatch, I'm usually playing the arcade modes, which are like the weird, like non-standard modes. I don't
hmm
typically play competitive because I know I'm not great, and I know they try to like match you up with people of your same like skill level, but I
yeah,
still feel bad because like I really am not good with like strategy in that game and like trying to figure out, I don't know, just
yeah,
like positioning and like, when to use your ultimates and like that sort of thing. So
yeah,
I play the arcade modes because they're just like silly, fun, like strange. Like right now there's a PvE mode for Halloween, so it's co-op against the computer,
oh,
and
that's
it's
cool.
it's a lot of fun. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun, but like, you don't have to be super good at it, and like, yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. Oh,
yeah. I'm with you, and Rocket League, very fun game. I had a lot of fun with that. The
yeah.
problem with Rocket League was that the community got so competitive,
Mhm.
and I felt so blown away by everyone's skill so quickly that I felt like everyone was driving on the autobahn at like 200 miles per hour, and I was in a freaking go kart like on the sidewalk next to them. Like it felt awful. It felt like I was so far behind. If I managed to score something, I was like, yes, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's stressful. It's more stressful than I think it should be. And
Uh-huh.
I think that was a poor design as far as it really did just sort of pair you up with anybody. But
Right.
also, like, it's going to be a difficult game. Here, with this game, to go back to this, I think that there is a certain amount of skill that you can get with this. But
Mhm.
it's a pretty simple game. It's not like, it's like playing tic tac toe with someone. Like, once you hit a certain level of mastery, it's more about luck than it is anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you also have to, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of luck involved, but I don't know. I like online gaming. I'm not like in certain ways. Like this is fine. The games last week or that we played on Thursday, that was fine too.
Yeah.
Like Thursday, Monday, whatever the frick day it was that we
Friday the
played.
13th that we played on Monday.
Yeah. Um, 'Cause that's a little bit different. Like you're not like 100% dependent on the other people's skills. Like yeah, you expect the other people to survive or whatever, but like
hmm
you can still escape even if the other people don't. I feel like isn't
Yeah.
that how that works? Like you can still win.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So,
that game had a difficult concept, which is asymmetric play requires that some players work together and some players work against others. And the more complicated you make it for real life people to have to do, the harder it's going to be because people act like dicks sometimes, or
yeah.
people act irrationally, so that's difficult. Here, when you have one team versus another team, and it's one person versus one person, well then it's much easier to sort of throw them into an environment and say, here, don't mess this up. You have one
Right.
job.
Okay. Well,
Let's talk, because we're about to hit the hour mark. Let's do trophy games and names.
okay.
Let's make a decision about how much further we want to go into this, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Trophy games and trophy news. So, this is my sort of complaining. Everyone loves a good wine, good old classic traditional wine, but also some praise in there. It's not just whining. So, get your cheese ready. Here comes the wine. For
Mhm.
the trophy nay, this trophy is called Decorated Champion. You get this trophy by reaching Prestige Rank 1. Now, have you actually leveled up yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it takes some time to actually do a level up. Now, to reach Prestige Rank 1, you have to level up 30 times. It then rolls over back to level 1. That's what the Prestige Rank 1 does. This is a common thing, especially in multiplayer games. Destiny in particular is the most notable one that we've played that does the prestige ranks. You know, you get a little symbol with your name.
They do that in Overwatch.
Show. Yeah, so okay. The whole world knows what prestige rank is.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is that in order to get prestige rank 1, you need to get 2.4 million experience points. And I know that seems like a random number because how many experience points do you get in a match? Well, to give you a sense, it would take you approximately 80 to 90 hours of gameplay just going for experience points to get 2.4 million experience points.
That's ridiculous.
So, can you imagine being given this game, being told, hey, Trophy Hunter, you're playing this, it's on your trophy list, so go ahead and get the platinum. You're going to be doing this for 80 to 90 hours.
Yeah, nope. Well,
this is not the first time that you and I have talked about the grind. And with online games, you have a responsibility to not lock people into your game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dick move to say, oh, you're playing this game? Well, if you want to get the trophy, we're requiring you to exclusively play this game. Don't touch anything else. You're going to need to be playing this one over and over again. That is not the point of a trophy. The point of a trophy is to reward someone for experiencing your game. And I would argue 10 hours of gameplay, they have experienced your game.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's a very dick move.
Yeah, I agree.
I get ranty. This one makes me genuinely upset. It's an upsetting thing for them to do. I mean, you're currently doing your levels. I'm seeing you level up right now. You stopped just short of 2. And you've played 3 matches?
2.
We're at an hour of gameplay, and you only did tutorial for a short while. I hope my point is made there.
Yeah.
On the trophy, yay. Trophy called Major Leaguer. You get this for winning 40 matches. Online play. This is here because I think this is a good example of the maximum amount of grind that should be allowed in a game like this. 40 wins. A win is rewarding you for being good at the game. It has a sense of randomness because you can get excellent players or not. I like that. It's a sense of like, yeah, I've really accomplished something. And I think 40, which is the second lowest of the win matches mode, these trophies are ridiculous. I think this is the maximum. I think that's the level that you should have it. And have that be the max. And this way you've said to people, thank you for playing my game. You've experienced the totality of what this is. Anything from this point on is you like enjoying your game and doing the whole like competitive play thing.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, the trophy list on this, it pisses me off. And Jason pissed me off, you know, Friday the 13th, because that also was super grindy. We talked about 60, 70 hours on that game. Like, can you imagine? There are some people who do not play games unless they guarantee they can get the platinum trophy.
Yeah.
And if, you know, you have PS Plus, this would be another game that you would have to dedicate your life to or not be able to play.
Yep.
So, that's my rant. That's it. Everyone over. Put your cheese away. Wrap it up. Don't want to put the movie.
No. Oh my god. Did you... Oh god. Oh god.
Oh my goodness. That is intense. I love it. That's really funny. It's a lot of fun to watch. But, you know, I can pretty much guarantee you're not going to come back to this.
No. No, of course I'm not. Oh.
You know, it's there's not enough here to bring you back. It's a fun diversion. It's competent. It's the design is fine.
Yeah.
But it's too little to really do anything.
Yes.
So at over an hour, this would be a very short episode of the show. But I really don't think there's much more to present here.
No, there's really not.
So I leave it up to you if you want to close it out. We've already broken every rule we've ever had. So
We broke all the... Oh wait, I'm still alive? How in the shit did that happen?
good luck.
Dear Lord.
So you've got like the warp mode on? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
It seems like you're warping all over the map.
No, that's not my mode. I've got shock.
Okay.
Shock? Shock.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah. Well, sure, let's do our last couple segments and then we'll see what we're at.
All right. So our last segment is comprised of the Metacritic review game and the Is This Worth Downloading? We typically do Metacritic first, so let's go ahead and start there. Here's how we play. You've played the game. You've gotten the trophy to us. And it's time for a segment we're calling the Metacritic review game. Here's how we play. First, you give me what you would rate this game out of 100 and why. Then I'll read you the highest and lowest critic ratings without the numbers they were assigned. Then you tell me if you think your score will be higher or lower than the Metacritic average of game critics. And finally, we will reveal if you went higher or lower. Are you ready to critique?
Yes, yes I am.
I need you to give me a score between 0 and 100 and a general why.
I give this game 60. Because it's fun, it's cute, it's easy to play, but there's not a lot of like replayability to it. It feels like I'm playing online, but am I really playing online? Like how many of these people are real, actual people? I can't really tell. Like,
Yeah. If anybody. That's a great point. We never talked about that. Like, it really doesn't seem to matter if you're playing online with
Oops.
anyone.
right. Like, I don't know. Am I?
I don't know. And the thing is, the game is so simplistic that I feel like it just doesn't matter. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, it's not... Like, what would it matter? You know?
It wouldn't. It really wouldn't. But like, yeah, I guess as long as none of the trophies are like play against actual people, then I guess it doesn't matter.
I think there are, actually. Let me just do a quick glance here.
But like, if they fill your matches with bots, how can you really like? How can they make a trophy based solely on that? Where the frick am I? Oh, okay.
No, I think you're probably fine, actually. You're probably fine to just do this box.
Yeah.
Okay, so 60, that's where we're landing.
Yeah.
I've lost my Metacritic.
Oh no. Oops.
Here we go. On the high end, here's what they said about the game. An esports ready success meeting a sizable audience. Sometimes the snippets they grab for the reviews.
Like, that's a good review. What? What does that even
Like,
mean?
that's basically saying, here's the recipe for success. Anyway, it is a high score, so I know it is what they said. Here's the low end. Laser League is typically the kind of game which is enjoyable for a few minutes before it reveals its own weakness, repetitiveness,
Ugh,
mostly
yeah.
due to lack of depth, which is sad because its main idea is really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
JukeVideo.com.
Oh. The main idea is really cool, and I wish the game did have more replayability. I'm with them on that. I still think that I think I went lower.
Did you go lower? You know what I think happened? I think that I deleted a portion of that top review. Let me just real quick go up there and make sure it's not true. I do want people to have the ability to know what the hell was said about Laser League. It doesn't seem likely that that was like all that was said.
Hey, I just got a new trophy.
Lauren, you were killing me. What is this one called?
Making waves?
All right, let's look at that one. But first, here's the high-end score from Metacritic. Nope, it is literally what I read. Esports ready success needing a sizable audience. And the name of the reviewer is Games. Trademark.
Wow.
Okay, so you got a trophy. You are keeping me on my toes here. I'm loving it. Loving it. You got the trophy called Dead Air. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just waiting for this rematch countdown to go.
What was the name of the one you got?
Making Waves?
There we go. Making Waves. Oh, okay. So leveling up for the first time.
Mm.
This is the one that I really felt you were most likely to get. At 31.97% uncommon, a bronze trophy is the third most common, and it's the one that I felt you would be most likely to get because I felt like you would just play a couple of things, and by an hour or so you would have it and feel like that was it. Because I kind of didn't think you were going to ever win, which is my fault.
Thanks, Tony. My question is though, did you not see that there was a trophy for finishing the tutorial?
I didn't.
Okay, because you literally told me to play the tutorial, and I was
that's my bad. I didn't see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oof, I'm a terrible researcher.
No, it's fine. You're fine.
So back to the Metacritic review game. You think you went higher?
I think I went lower.
No, you think you went lower. Well, you're correct. The Metacritic review ended up being 82 on this game.
82? For what?
I know. It's very high. It surprised me too. I felt like there's not a lot here. Is that why it's so high? Because you didn't present much, so what could you knock down? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just kind of like, okay, it's like somebody gave you a plate of spaghetti with butter. Like, okay, I could eat that. I mean, it's fine. I'm not going to write home about it, you know?
No.
I wouldn't give it an 80.
No, I wouldn't
Anyway,
either.
last segment of the show. Is it worth downloading? Here's some data to keep in mind before you give your final judgment. From howlongtobeat.com, there is no data whatsoever because this game has not been played by enough people to create the data necessary for How Long to Beat. However, in order to get the Platinum Trophy, I did already mention you need to play between 80 and 100 hours to get the Platinum. So with that in mind, in a disc size of 1.7 gigabytes and a regular retail price of $14.99, what do we think? As you customize your character with every color variation possible, is it worth downloading?
Sure. If you want to just play it for like 5 minutes and never play it again, absolutely download it.
I want to say, I don't think it's worth downloading.
No, I don't think it is either. I really don't. No, I was just being sarcastic. Cause it's so simplistic and it's like the same thing over and over and over and over.
Yeah. At 1.7 gigabytes, it's not a huge, that's nothing. But it still seems a bit high. It feels like, but what exactly? I mean,
it was 3, I thought.
After updates, everything that I give you with that is the main, that's the main thing.
Okay.
So, you think an actual reality 3 gigabytes for what? It's a very basic visual game. I mean, it's pretty because of the colors. Yeah. But the customizations, there's blips on the screen. You can't really see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That part sort of annoyed me. It also annoyed me that this game requires constant online presence. The Platinum Trophy pissed me off. I felt like, no, I've played better short-term jump-in, jump-out games, and better ones have been provided by PS Plus. What is that airplane one they gave us?
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. You're talking about the
I can't. What is the name of that game? It's something fighter. Let me look this up. Real quick. Research. This is my job. It's my only job. It is. It is Skyforce. Skyforce.
Skyforce.
It's a great. That was a great game that you just get in a plane, you shoot, beat a
Right.
level, get a card, don't get a card, whatever. You're in, you're out, you get points. That's it. You know, it was repetitive, yes, but it was interesting enough and it varied enough that it could bring you in. This game doesn't. It doesn't bring you in. There's nothing here.
No.
Yeah. Okay, well that is every segment that we have for the show. So technically we've done everything we are legally obligated to do as part of our court arrangements for, you know, all the awful things we've done.
Yeah, I broke all the rules. I'm sorry.
That's right. Now our sentence is going to be doubled. We'll be doing this show forever.
Oh no. What have I done? So,
An
yeah.
hour 15. You think we're good to call it?
Yeah, I think so. I
Sorry, it's going
mean,
to end up being a short one, everyone.
yeah, I mean, I feel like even if we had gotten that trophy, that Making Waves trophy that I just got, it still wouldn't have been that long of a show because this game doesn't have a lot to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I think we're good.
Okay,
Never mind.
well.
Oh, I died.
You know, I know everyone, including myself, we were all thinking we were going to be way out of our league on this one, but I think our laser-focused dedication proved wrong. What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
Where can people find us for more content, and what are we up to this week, Lauren?
You can watch all of the episodes of Two Gamers One Trophy back catalog at YouTube. Just look up Two Gamers One Trophy. That's the numeral 2 and the numeral 1.
Thank you to everyone for watching, commenting, and otherwise interacting with us. Even if it's not live, we are on YouTube, so please feel free to comment us there. We will desperately respond to your messages like a jilted lover in the middle of the night. It's a delight to share the world of PS Plus with everyone. And a quick thank you to our title music provided by Seal Hair. You can find more of his work on Spotify. You did some craft events. You wanna talk a little bit about that and what you're up to?
No, that's okay.
Okay. People can play with you online. Where?
I am Caustic Sofa on the PlayStation Network. What about you?
I'm Paradox, spelled P-A-I-R-O-D-O-C-S. And a quick note, it does seem likely that PlayStation is finally going to allow us to change our names. This has been
Nice.
a requested feature forever. If it turns out that your sofa is no longer Caustic, has not been Caustic for years, well then you can change it. That would be great. It could just be a comfy sofa. And I finally learned how to spell Paradox, so I could change that as well.
Wow, that's wonderful. All around good
Next
news.
Thursday. So we'll let you know if we decide to go something different.
Cool.
Next Thursday, we're playing 2064, Read Only Memories. This is 30 years prior in time to the setting of this game, so we're going back a little.
But we're going forward from now.
That's right. It will be in the past.
It'll
We'll
still
playing
be
this
in the future. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
When you get there, audience, it will be your present.
Correct.
Join us here live on Twitch next Thursday around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, barring any whatever reason that we don't do it at that time.
Life, it happens.
It does. It's been a pleasure as always doing this with you,
Yeah.
Lauren.
Same. See you here next week.
And you grab that internet, take it from the wall, smash the PlayStation on the ground, and finish us off.
Okay, bye now.